Hello everyone, I'm MegaMan6564 and welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. In today's episode, it's December 28th, it's the final day of the case, and it's the final possible day to solve the DL6. This is it, Judgment Day. Today, things are going to get settled at last. A lot of things. What's the big idea? Sorry, Nick, I only touched your shoulder. I guess the shock hasn't worn off from my run-in with the stun gun yesterday. Anyhow, today's the last day of the trial. Good luck. Thanks, Maya. Edgeworth is looking glum as always. I hope Von Garma doesn't push him too hard. Woo hoo hoo. What are you doing? Sorry. I'm sorry. I just thought I'd cheer you up with a pat on the back. Maya, maybe you should go outside and discharge. Right, good idea. Try not to electrocute anyone on your way out. Woo yeah, pal. Detective Gumshoe, what's gotten into that girl? Morning, Mr. Edgeworth. Good morning. How'd it go, Detective? Have no fear, as promised I've captured our runaway caretaker. I just brought him in, took all night. Thanks, Detective, you must be tired. Actually, after that shock I got on the way in, I feel pretty good. Yogi says he's forgotten his own name, but that has to be a lie. Why would he want revenge on Edgeworth if he couldn't even remember his past? He does remember, and I'm going to prove it. "10 a.m., courtroom 3, let's get the party started." Court is now in session for the trial of Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor? The prosecution is ready. Right, very well. We've reached the final day of our proceedings in this trial. Ask that the prosecution submit decisive evidence. Understood. Come on, don't be awed into silence by every little thing he says. Very well, Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Right. Thanks to Detective Gumshoe's efforts, the boat rental shop caretaker has been arrested. In yesterday's trial, the defense asserted that the caretaker was the murderer. However, the caretaker has yet to confirm this. I would like to ask the defense to cross-examine him as much as necessary. Very well. Please bring the witness into the courtroom. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I believe you all remember our witness. He lives in the boat rental shop on the lake from where he witnessed the incident. In addition, he has currently lost memory of his name and identity. Witness, why did you run away yesterday? The witness was not running away, as he will testify now. I see. Very well. Please begin your testimony. Witness testimony. Why I left court. I'm really sorry about just leaving yesterday like I did, but I wasn't running away or nothing. I went to buy some food for Polly. I figured I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. I mean, I need one of those motive things, right? And I don't got one. So my testimony yesterday stands as is. Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, shall we? Yanni Yogi, you're Yanni Yogi, and I'm going to prove it. Alright. Okay. I'm gonna press him here. You've lost much of your memory, is that correct? Yep, seems like it. Then how could you know you didn't have anything to do with this incident? Or, maybe you're lying about not having your memory. You know exactly who you are. The witness has testified quite clearly that he has no memory of who he is. If you claim he's lying, then show proof. How am I supposed to prove what's going on in that old cogger's head? That's impossible. I'm glad you've come to your senses, Mr. Wright. Very well. Witness, please continue. How can you say you had no motive? I say you do. You had a grudge against Edgeworth and the victim Hammond. That's why you took revenge on them, right? Please don't make me repeat myself, Mr. Wright. The witness has no memory of anything beyond several years ago. He can't hold a grudge. It's impossible. I have to prove he's lying about his memory. Otherwise, it's going to be the same thing over and over until the trial ends. Might I say something, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. You've been saying the same thing now over and over. You've been calling the witness's memory of the past or lack thereof into question, but does this really have anything to do with the current case? Of course, Your Honor. The witness has said he has nothing to do with this case and no motive. Both of these statements are lies. Order, Mr. Wright, there is a serious problem with your claim. Or are you saying you know who this witness is? Of course, Your Honor. Ho, ho, ho! Now this is interesting. I would like to know myself. So, who is he? Don't play dumb, Von Karma. Mr. Wright, please tell us the witness's name. It is Mr. Yanni Yogi. His name is Yanni Yogi, a former court bailiff. Yogi, that name seems familiar. Oh, Yanni Yogi from the DL6. Thought Judge would have heard of it. Such a famous case. But what does this mean? Your Honor, if this man is Mr. Yogi, he has a clear motive. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Jumping to conclusions again, are we, Mr. Wright? This man, this witness, is Yanni Yogi? Fascinating. However, how do you propose to prove this to the court? This is a court of law, as you may recall. You need proof. And allow me to repeat once more that the witness has lost his memory. I have to do this now. If I can't prove he's Yogi, then I've got nowhere to go. Nick, how are you going to prove it? How can you prove that he's Yanni Yogi? It's okay, it's actually quite simple. Your Honor, please take this man's fingerprints. We'll compare them to the fingerprints on file for Yanni Yogi 15 years ago. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Huh? I'm so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright. Why? The witness has no fingerprints. What? What? No fingerprints? You see, before I worked as a caretaker, I worked at a chemical plant. I burned my fingers working with the stuff, yep. What? Yogi, you sneak! You burned your fingerprints off to hide your past? Well, if the witness has no fingerprints, I guess we will not be able to prove his identity. No. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Well, what will you do now, Mr. Wright? It seems that the case has been decided, no? No, I know what happened. I know everything. I just can't prove it. But no, I can't let it end like this. I can't lose. There has to be another way. There is no one who can testify as to who this witness is. No one. Actually, Mr. Von Karma, there is. As dumb as it might be. But Paulie wants a cracker. Nick, what are we going to do? I didn't even consider that he might have erased his fingerprints. What do I do? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Well, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to cross-examine the parrot for a little comic relief, Why, actually, yes, I would. Cross-examine the parrot. What is it, Nick? No, you're not going to. Your Honor, the defense would like to take Mr. Von Karma up on his proposal. Von Karma up on his proposal? Exactly, Your Honor. I would like to cross-examine the witness's pet parrot. Oh my swirls. This... Order. Well, what do you think, Mr. Von Karma? Need you even ask? This is a farce. I object. Wait a second. You're the one who suggested I cross-examine the parrot, Von Karma. I have a right to do as you suggested. Well, if you're so desperate, then please, be my guest. Of course, should you go through with this, and nothing comes out of it, I hope you're ready for the consequences. Nick, this is crazy. Well, still want to go through with your little game? Absolutely. Let the parrot take the stand. I will cross-examine her, Your Honor. This is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. Von Karma's rigged every person's testimony, every piece of evidence, except the parrot. Polly's on a cracker. At least I think this is my last chance. Bailiff, bring in the parrot. Oh my. That's quite a bird. Please tell us your name. Name. The witness is ignoring me. Very well, witness. Who is your owner? Please testify. Who is your owner? Hello. Hello. Squawk. That was the most brilliant, most concise testimony we've heard so far. Very well, begin your cross-examination. What are you going to do, Nick? I don't know. What do we do, Maya? Hold it. Witness, you can't just say hello and expect us to get anywhere. I want you to testify. Maya, you talked to her. Right. What do I say? Have we forgotten something? Polly, Polly, have we forgotten something? Squawk! Don't forget DL6. Squawk! If I can get Polly to say that here, that'll prove the caretaker had something to do with DL6. Polly, have we forgotten something? Hello, hello, Squawk. That's not what you're supposed to say. Forgot something. We forgot. It's not working. She won't say it. This is ridiculous. Why won't she say it? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Something the matter, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me Von Karma expected this. He couldn't have retrained the parrot, could he? Did he train her not to respond when we asked if we've forgotten anything? Alright, let's ask about its name. What's your name? Hang on, I just want to look at something. DL6 case file. Gregory Edgeworth. Yogi. Interesting. After Yogi was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide, huh? Wait a second, this bird's name is Polly. So could he have named the parrot after his fiancée? Polly, Polly, what's your name? Polly, Polly, Squawk. Mr. Wright, I think we've established that this parrot is named Polly. Does this have anything to do with her owner's identity? Of course. Yes, it does. Huh. Fascinating. You claim that the parrot's name will prove her owner's identity? Then show us this proof. Nick, don't you think you're taking the bluffing a little too far? Listen, we're not here to answer the question of who is the caretaker. We're here to prove that he is Yanni Yogi. All we have to do is tie the name Polly to Yogi. Your Honor, the proof that the parrot's name reveals the caretaker's identity is the DL6. That's quite a large file you have there. Which page is this proof on then? The last page. Show us or stop wasting our time. Very well. Mr. Wright, please show us the page. Where in the file is the information connected? The suspect data. It's on the suspect data page. This page has all the info about Yanni Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide. What was his fiancée's name? Polly Jenkins. Polly. Exactly, Your Honor. He remembered the name of his fiancée who committed suicide. That's why he named his parrot after her. I see. I guess that is possible. Ah, a mere coincidence, that's all. My granddaughter has a dog she calls Phoenix. Well, Mr. Phoenix, Wright, does this make you my granddaughter's fiancé? She's only 7. Indeed. Alone, it is a little weak. We would need some other collaborating evidence. What am I going to find you that? Nick, we're getting closer. One more. If we can just get one more piece of evidence. Right, but what? Very well, witness. You may continue. Wait a second. What was the safe combo? The safe combo. And what was the day? The safe combo was 1228, 1228. Where is that DL6 folder? 1228. 1228. Okay. And what is the safe number? The safe? Why? Let's just try to get her to say anything. Polly, what was the number of the safe? 1228. 1228. My, what a reckless pair. Well, Mr. Wright, you're in claiming that this number has something to do with the caretaker. Actually, it does. That's why I had her say it. Ridiculous. How can the number to a safe tell us who the caretaker is? Show us your proof. What could possibly link this number to the caretaker's true identity? The DL6 case file? What is this obsession you have with that case? Mr. Wright, where in the file is something relating? The summary. The case summary? Specifically, the date on which the incident occurred. The date of the incident, December 28th. Why, that's today's date, 15 years ago. And the number on that safe is 1228. He used the date of the DL6 as the number for his safe. That's how important that date was to him. I see. It certainly is an interesting coincidence. People often do set their secret numbers to dates. This is not tangible proof. I set my ATM card's number to 0001 because I'm number 1. This has nothing to do with a date. Nothing. Thanks for giving us your PIN. I think we've reached a conclusion here. This is a mere coincidence, that's all. True, that is a possibility. However, 2 coincidences at the same time seem more like a pattern to me. What are you saying? Summon the caretaker of the boat shop. Immediately. Witness, tell us your name. Wait, this witness, he doesn't remember. No, it's okay. I've accomplished what I wanted to do. I'm done. Nick, he looks different. This is the real Yogi, I think, finally. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years. Well, let me ask you again. Please state your name for the court. My name is Yanni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court. Order, order. Yanni Yogi, so was it you who killed Robert Hammond? And tried to frame Miles for his death? Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Hammond said I was mentally unsound, told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. So I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent, really, but he didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. My job, my fiancé, my social standing. Then this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take my revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent it. I thought this was my chance. After 15 years, this was it. Finally, a chance to have my revenge on Hammond and Edgeworth. I have no regrets. Wait a moment. Revenge against Edgeworth? What do you mean? I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Anyway, I admit it. I was the one who killed Hammond. Wow. Von Karma, where is Yogi? Under arrest, Your Honor. I saw no room for error in his confession. Then the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, is innocent. In this case, at least. Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand? There are a few mysteries left unsolved, still you are cleared of suspicion for this particular case, so I would like to pass judgment on the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond. Any objections? I don't believe it. Why isn't Von Karma saying anything? Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. Woo! We did it! Yay! That is all. The court is adjourned. Excuse me, Edgeworth? Edgeworth, what the hell are you smoking? You were just found not guilty. Why the hell would you object? And what are you objecting to? That means no. Edgeworth? Your Honor, I object to your judgment. What do you mean? I'm not innocent at all. As we have heard, Yanni Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what? Nick, Edgeworth is trying to confess. He's going to say he's guilty. He's going to tell them he was the murderer in DL6. He's going to tell him he killed his own dad. Uh-oh, what do I do? Leave it to Edgeworth. I'm sure Edgeworth thought about this long and hard. This isn't my place to interfere. Nick, are you sure? There's nothing we can do about it. This is his problem now. For 15 years. I've had a recurring dream. A nightmare. It's only a nightmare. That's what I told myself. But now I know it wasn't a dream. Yanni Yogi wasn't the killer. You mean in the incident where your father died? From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was as clear as day. The murderer, the criminal in the DL6 incident, it was me. Your Honor, I confess my guilt. I am guilty for DL6, the statute of limitations of which ends today. The culprit is me. Order, order. This is certainly unexpected. The defendant, declared innocent, is confessing to a different crime, a crime for which the statute of limitations runs out today. I'm not sure how I should deal with this. Bah! It's obvious. We hold a trial right here, right now. We try this man for his crime of 15 years ago. I think I would like to have a 5-minute recess. During this time, I will consider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, Wright. I've just wasted all of your effort. Mr. Edgeworth, I just don't believe it, pal. I mean, you kill your dad? I didn't want to believe it myself, detective, but it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. This is crazy. Just crazy. Nick, what are you doing? Huh? Oh. I was just reading through the court record once more. Getting my case ready. Your case for what? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to prove that Edgeworth is innocent. What are you talking about, pal? He just admitted to it. He confessed that he did it. In court. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare. What? It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me. Right. Oh boy. I guess we'll keep going. Because technically we're not at the end yet. I'd like to resume our trial. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitations on the DL6 incident runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections? No, Your Honor. And Von Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you? Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth. I'm a prosecuting attorney. Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct? It is correct. Then testify about this matter to the court. When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That'll be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Please, please. That day I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later there was a single gunshot, then a scream. Hang on. Single gunshot? Trapped in elevator. Murder weapon was fired twice, though. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. Well, I already found a contradiction here. Until now, you thought this memory was a dream. We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. Oxygen ran out. I lost my memory. Bah! The same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Alright. Yes. Next. Next. Okay. Next. Objection. Are you sure you only heard one gunshot? Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see. But that doesn't make sense. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence unless you can tell us what page it's on. Which page contradicts Edgeworth's testimony? The victim data. Look at the victim data. It says it quite plainly. The murder weapon was fired twice. Murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So, who fired the remaining shot? Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot? Your Honor, as I'm sure you're aware, this incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice. However, we do not know when that second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There's no proof that the second shot had anything to do with this incident. Actually, if you look at the picture, there's a gunshot right through the elevator. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we have heard. One of those shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof the other shot fired had something to do with this case? Yes, I do. Your Honor, I think I'll be able to show you proof. What? Impossible. Now, Mr. Von Karma. Save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright, show us your proof. Do you have evidence that the second firing of the pistol is related to this incident? Take that. Look at this photograph. This is a photograph of the scene of the crime, 15 years ago. I can see a victim lying there as Gregory Edgeworth. Proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. The photo proves it. So let me get this straight. This photo proves 2 shots were fired? Where? Your Honor, please get a clue. Right there. Take that. As should be obvious, contradiction is here. I see a bullet hole in the door. Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol. Yet there's also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know a murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired the second shot. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Edgeworth's heart, the other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else. Mr. Wright. But who could that someone else be? The murderer, of course. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page. Case summary, that's on page 1. Look what is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a point. That second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter. The whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made that bullet hole in the door. Order, I will have order. Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us is quite clear. The murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Von Karma says, the second bullet was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked the second bullet. So all we have is the single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter. How did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection? I'm sorry, Maya. What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick? If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. No, but you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent. I'm sorry. It's just, when I saw the photograph, I thought that 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else who fired the killing shot, but now, I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick. Well, it seems that we have finally cleared up this incident. Only 1 bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth, precisely. I would like to ask one thing of Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No. No, I do not. So you killed your father, though that was not your intention? Yes, I did. Oh no, he's confessing. Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce a verdict on the defendant today, right here. Right now! Indeed. Does anyone have any objections? I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There are so many things I know I should be saying. Though my mind's gone blank, I can't find the words. Mr. Wright. Here we go. I have no objection. I have no objection, but I'm gonna say objection. Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object? Nick, I don't know. His case is perfect. Oh no. It must exist. The second bullet. What? What did you just say? Nothing. The second bullet must exist. But where? Someone took it. It seems waiting is not going to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright. Wait, Your Honor. The second bullet, it exists. What? But we've just heard proof that it did not exist. I realize that, Your Honor. Really grasping there. It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened. But who? The murderer. The murderer? Then tell us, just who is this murderer? I'm still thinking about that one. So the criminal took the second bullet. Why would he? First of all, how would he have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet? No. Why would the murderer have spent the time to look for a stray bullet? But what if the bullet was inside the murderer? The murderer was shot, and they never removed the bullet. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? The murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true. Had to take it. The murderer, what does that mean? You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was thinking. Think why the bullet had to be taken. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene, but the murderer had to have taken the bullet. Had to. What do you mean? Well, for instance, maybe the bullet hit the murderer. The bullet hit the murderer? Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there, you know? Wait a second. I was just talking off the top of my head, but what if that's really what happened? Let me get this straight. At the time of the murderer himself was shot, and he left with the second bullet still inside, thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime. Yeah, guess that's how it would work. But there's a problem with that. The other two people rescued from that elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Yanni Yogi, were both unharmed. So that would mean the murderer came from outside, yes. The two men fight inside the elevator. Whoops. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges, and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside. Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping, yet I cannot deny the possibility of what you say. What are you saying? Deny it! Deny it! No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer. No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He's right. I can't think of anyone. Hey, Nick. I just thought of something. Really crazy. Crazy? Remember what Grossberg said yesterday? Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record. So you're telling me it's freaking Von Karma who killed him? I guess it's crazy, but it works. Must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that. An unusual event for the man. That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. What if Von Karma didn't take the vacation because of shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean, it could only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma. Oh man. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You seem dazed. No, Your Honor. Well, you have indicated the possibility that the murderer came from outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect? Uh-oh. Should I come out and say it? Let's do it. Let's do it. Your Honor, there is a suspect. One lone suspect. Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect? My hands are shaking. For what? Von Karma. Von Karma? He's smiling. He's smiling. You mean the Von Karma, the prosecutor, sitting right there? Bah. You don't object? I see no need. Why, Your Honor? Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection? Because you took a vacation for several months starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason? So you're claiming that I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident. Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, no? Where did I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify. Nick, let's find out who his doctor is. It's no use. Edgeworth? I know Von Karma perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness. Nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? No, it's probably still sitting in his shoulder. And do we still have? Yeah, we still have the metal detector. Put the metal detector against his shoulder. It's gonna go ding, ding, ding. And we're gonna have a winner. That's insane. No, he couldn't have. You can't just pull bullets out of yourself. Wait. What does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere. But where? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Well, Mr. Wright, can you produce evidence to prove that I was shot? Done. Let's do it. Alright, Von Karma. I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much. What? The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is a metal detector. Von Karma is perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery, leaving an evidence trail. So I ask, where is that bullet now? I think it's unlikely Von Karma performed surgery on himself. You don't mean... I do. There's the possibility the bullet is still inside him. Is that even possible for all these years? Well, there's one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm going to run this over you and see what we find. I refuse. You refuse? But refusing this means you acknowledge that the bullet is still inside you. Order, order, order. Your Honor, the defense requests that we be allowed to use the metal detector. Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy. The statute of limitations runs out on the case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now. Enough. I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing. Nick, what does this mean? I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. Bingo! Something's inside his right shoulder. The bullet. Mr. Von Karma? It was you? I was afraid this would happen, and so I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident. What? I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6. I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation. What about the ballistic markings? But Mr. Von Karma, can you prove that? Prove? I have no obligation to prove anything. It is you who must prove something here, Mr. Wright, not I. Mr. Wright? Well, can you prove it? Can you prove that the bullet in Von Karma's shoulder was from DL6? Of course he can't. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence. With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright. We have the bullet, actually. No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma. What? You were close. 1 day away from freedom. You see, I have proof. What? Who would have thought you would have dug your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL6 incident. And here is my final proof. Take that. That's a bullet? Where did you get that? This is the bullet used in the DL6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings. You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago. Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which weapon fired the bullet. It's quite accurate. We have 2 bullets in our possession. The bullet removed from Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We could analyze both bullets. If the markings matched, we would know both bullets had been fired from the same gun. The very same pistol, in other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. We'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet and solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma? K.O. That scream. I've heard that scream before. Wait, I know. It's that scream I heard in the elevator 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed. Mr. Von Karma? Edgeworth! Only you would dare defy me. So it was you. You and your father are my curse. Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record. And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade. I'll bury you. I'll bury you with my bare hands. Death. Death. 15 years earlier. Mr. Chief Prosecutor, I'm sorry. Von Karma, it's not like you to make this kind of error. I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you. I was careless. I'm sorry, but you will have to be penalized. I've covered for you in the past, but not this time. Edgeworth. It was a shock like none I had ever known. Me? Penalized? It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly I found myself in the dark. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. Lights must have gone out. Went out in the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button and nothing happened. Then there was a noise. I was in pain, a horrible burning pain in my shoulder. Just then the lights came back on and the door opened. I saw 3 people inside, all lying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then it was destiny. In his last moments, Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died never knowing who had shot him. Later he spoke through a medium blaming Yogi. He was fooled. It was the perfect crime. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge, what? What are you doing? Do your job, bring an end to this miserable charade. Now end it. Very well. It appears that we have come to a very long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor? You were innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honor. This court finds the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. Woo! Party! Woo! That is all. Court is adjourned. December 28th, 5:38 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Nick, we did it. Did you see his face? Von Karma looked even paler than usual. He's pretending to be all cool, but inside you crushed, and Nick, you crushed. I gotta say I'm impressed. It was pretty close, though. I was sure we'd had it. I know, I was on the verge of tears the whole time myself, but now it's all just a good memory. So it's finally over, Edgeworth. Right, yeah? I'm not sure how to say this. I know. Try thank you. I see. Thank you, Wright. You're welcome. I think you could have done better than that. Oof, sorry. I'm not good at this sort of thing. You gotta learn. You got a lot to learn, Edgeworth. Dear. Whoop! Amazing, pal. You pulled through just like I thought you would. I'll never forget this. I owe you one, pal. And tonight, let's party. Dinner's on me. Yeah, my salary went down a bit this month, but who cares? See, Mr. Edgeworth, you should take lesson from Gumshoe. That's how you say thank you. I see. Whoop! I feel foolish. Don't worry. Take it a little at a time. You'll get used to it. It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded. Hey, y'all. Lotta. Y'all were great in there. Thank you. Yo, Edgeworth. Congrats. Thank y'all. I knew you were innocent from the start, of course. Just look at you. You wouldn't stick your hand in the cookie jar, even if there were any. You were the witness on the first day of the trial, weren't you? Yeah, well, let bygones be bygones. Speaking of which, what are you doing now, Lotta? Who, me? I went back to college. I gave up trying to be an investigative photographer pretty quick. Really? That's too bad. Isn't that the hot dog guy from the park? Huh? It's over, Nick. My life is over. Why the sad face, Larry? What happened now? Oh, Nick, I'm not long for this world. You don't look sick. It's Kiance. She's going to live in Paris. Paris, Nick. She's leaving me behind. Yo, Edgy. There you are. Yeah, here I am. Congrats, Edgy. Here, a little gift from me in celebration. That's unusual for you. Harry Butts, you come along too tonight, pal. My treat, huh? Thanks. Looking forward to it. Yo, Nick, that's the suit that questioned me. When he says treat, that's not police talk for prison food, right? Right? I think you'll be fine, Larry. Right? Yeah, what's up? The envelope Larry gave me, it's got money in it. Well, yeah, that's not that strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes. It's $38, right? What a weird amount. I mean, it's not a little... God damn it, Larry! Wasn't that exactly the amount that was stolen from Edgeworth? No, Larry, it was you! What are you so surprised about, right? Larry was absent that day from school, but that doesn't automatically rule him out as a suspect. Think back to that day. Larry took the day off, but he was bored. He came into school anyways. He saw the money lying there. The rest is history. Never was good at history. Edgeworth, you didn't know, did you? I suspected. You just couldn't picture Larry protecting you like you did that day. Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember? Yeah, too well. Right, you may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts. I know. Really, Wright? I'm surprised you didn't figure it out. Well, this is sure an unexpected turn of events. Edgeworth, you should have told me. Now, Nick, it was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitations has run out? I'd say so. There you have it. Ugh, where does that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you two did. Well, I'd call you a goody two-shoes to the extreme. Yeah, and you get worked up too easily, too. Death. The death sentence for both of you. If only I'd known, I'd have become a prosecutor. The same goes for me, only the other way around. For the longest time, I thought that I might have killed my own father. I thought I might be a criminal. I became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I had known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all. Edgeworth, want to switch, right? Hey, y'all, line up. I'll take a photo. Hey, photo time. Let's go. And after that, dinner's on me. Detective Gumshoe took us out on a night of the town. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom, although Edgeworth was still in detention. Whoa, I went a little overboard yesterday. My head hurts. It's still only 5. Maybe I should go back to sleep. What's this, a letter? Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seeing you made me think about what I'm doing here. I'm a spirit medium, in training, of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth, too. I wanted to help you, but I couldn't. I was useless, so I've decided to go back to my training. I'll become a full-fledged spirit medium for starters. I couldn't say it to your face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick. What time is it? Yeah, the first trains for the mountain have already left. Quick, to the station! I guess I'm too late. Hey, Nick. Maya! So, you're leaving? Yeah. It's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits. And I think you'll do fine without me, Nick. Be good, okay? There we go. Wait, what? I never could have saved Edgeworth without your help. On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice. You heard my sister? Only her voice, but still. It was at the very end when I thought we'd lost everything. Well, that's my sister for you. Detective Gumshoe helped, Crossberg, and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't help. I was useless. But you were the one who stopped Von Karma, Maya. I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in a daze. Sorry, but I have evidence that you helped. Evidence? The bullet. Take that. A bullet. Von Karma was convinced he had taken all of the evidence pertaining to DL6, but you were the one who rescued the last piece of evidence we needed. This was the bullet that put an end to Von Karma. And you were the one who gave it to me. Thanks, Maya. I couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back soon. Huh? I'm going to complete my training and come back. Okay. I'll be waiting. Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless. I don't know about that. So, bye. Bye. Thanks, Nick. And so my story ends. Time to turn a new page and say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. Now a new story begins, with the same old crazy cast of characters. Ha! Don't think you've graduated yet, amateur. Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to rethink that claim? Yes, Your Honor. I got a bad feeling about this. And with that, we have reached the credits for Ace Attorney. Edgeworth came down, yada yada, talk about a pleasant surprise. Whoop! Detective Gumshoe! Then he hung his head low and went right back outside. Kinda like he was embarrassed or something. So, I think there still is supposed to be one more case. Where there should be 5, I think, right? At least I think there's 5. Isn't there? Ah, well, I guess we'll find out, obviously, after the credits run. But yeah, after the credits are done, there should, like I said, be one more thing. If there isn't another case, then I'm going to be, I guess, I'll take a week's break, and then I'll come back, and we'll start a new project. Now, I'm pretty sure I've been recording this episode for a stupidly long time, so this is probably going to be a long episode. I hope you're okay with that, because I don't feel like splitting it. It's been fun though. The first 4 episodes were lots of fun. I'm waiting for the I'm excited to play more. I don't know if what you call, like, if what you call, like, I'm trying to think of how I want to say this. So yeah, no, it's been fun. I mean, we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see after this, I guess. We're gonna have to see how things are, but if there's like any post-game stuff or not. But I feel like these credits are gonna take a while, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. Yeah, it was the celebration. Victory! Mia, Larry, Maya, Wright, Edgeworth, and Gumshoe. Hold it. What did I say? Rise from the ashes, let's go. Episode 5. So next time, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. We're starting episode 5, Rise from the Ashes. So until then, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time. So for now, this has been Megaman6564. So long for now.